From His Dark Materials to Wednesday, here are some of the best shows to watch if you're a fan of Willow. Let's start off with His Dark Materials.
For centuries, they have been trying to keep us where they want us, on our knees.
You promised the Magisterium you'd control Asriel.
Out of all the reasons I love Willow, one of them is definitely the way it follows kids on a quest to save the world.
Now, forget all you know. Come with me. Willow.
This is pretty much what happens in His Dark Materials too. The plot follows Lyra, a young orphan, as she travels through different worlds in search of her missing friend. During her journey, she finds out about a series of kidnappings, a mysterious substance called dust, and of course, a witch's prophecy involving her. According to this prophecy, she has to save creation from the extremist governing body, the Magisterium, since they're the ones behind all the things that are going wrong. Along the way, she also finds Will Perry, a teenage boy who's been linked to her destiny by the prophecy. He's got troubles of his own, as figures from his father's past are following him. Together, they make sense of the spiderweb that they're caught in and try to save others from it. The series is based on the trilogy of novels of the same name by Philip Pullman. Not only are the novels great on their own, the series adds an extra oomph through its strong performances and amazing visuals. There's also a lot of action in the mix, which makes it even more engaging. It ended with the third season in December of 2022. Means there's not a lot of ground to cover, and you won't have to wait for a season to come out either. But if you're looking for that anticipation and excitement, this next one's still rolling, The Witcher. I'm sure you've already heard of this one.
Something has changed, Geralt. The world's acting strange these days.
It's one of the best series on Netflix, so you're bound to know about it, and there's a reason why it's there. Whether it's the flawless world building or the unbelievable performance put out by Henry Cavill, this is one of the best fantasy shows of all time. Like Willow, this show has an old, almost nostalgic feel to it. With each season, the universe of The Witcher keeps growing, while a young girl, much like Elora, finds herself in the center of historical forces. The story follows Geralt, a mutated monster hunter, Crown Princess Ciri of Sintra, and the sorceress Yennefer of Vengerberg. From their individual journeys to their shared destiny, both Geralt and Ciri have both been joined together since before she was born. He demanded her as a reward for his services, unknowingly using the law of surprise. Season 1 explores their separate journeys, but once they finally meet, the hunter becomes her protector and helper. As the only remaining being with elder blood, she's got quite a few people on her heels. Her powerful magic can make or break the entire continent, and that's why Geralt and Yennefer have to protect her with their life.
Thank you for protecting it. And thank you, Yennefer of Vengerberg. I can see why Geralt didn't want to lose you.
This is pretty much the most common theme in fantasy shows, and I've got another one just like it, The Wheel of Time. Here's another fantasy series based on novels, and just like I said, its main theme rests on the powers of one young person. In this case, that person is known as the Dragon Reborn.
Against him. And it's one of the five of you.
You fully lost your mind.
Your life isn't going to be what you thought.
But the catch is that no one knows who it actually is. The dragon has to be found because of a prophecy. And of course, according to the prophecy, the reincarnated dragon will either break the world again or save it from an ancient evil. The original dragon did break the world once after the male halves of the One Power, an elemental force, were corrupted and drove each other insane. After an attack on her village, Moiraine, a powerful member of the Aes Sedai, decides to look for this person. She goes along with her warder, Lan, to recruit 5 young villagers who could be the Dragon Reborn. So far, only one season of the show has been released, and while season 2 began filming in 2021, its release date is still unknown. On top of that, the show's already been renewed for a 3rd season, so we know it'll go on for a while. If you want to watch something short and intense, season 1's only got 8 episodes. But if you're in the mood for a long binge, this next pick is just the one for you. Once Upon a Time. I'm throwing it back with this one.
There is a town in Maine.
I'd like a room. Welcome to Storybrooke.
Where every storybook character you've ever known is trapped between two worlds.
As far as fantasy shows are concerned, Once Upon a Time is a classic. Much like Willow, the series banked on the nostalgia factor. The showrunners knew that if nothing else, people would tune in just for the comfort of a familiar plotline. But people watched the show religiously for many other reasons, the biggest one being the interestingly fresh take on a classic fairy tale. Not only did the series revive our favorite Disney films with a dark twist, it also proved that these stories are timeless. There are 7 seasons in total. Each of them are about the struggles of Emma Swan as she tries to reignite the memories of Storybrooke's residents. They're all characters from fairy tales who have been brought to Storybrooke by the evil queen. She's also the reason why they don't have memories. Emma is the only person who can break the curse cast by the evil queen. With the help of her 10-year-old son and his fairy tale book, she sets out on a 6-season-long journey to do so.
Snuff out. As you might believe.
But if fantasy shows from the early 2010s aren't your thing, this recent one will blow your mind. The Sandman.
Best that I create, which I must control.
He's out there looking for me, isn't he?
Inspired by Neil Gaiman's series of comic books, The Sandman did not disappoint. You're probably aware of the lore of the Sandman. He controls all the dreams in the world, but according to the plot of the books and the show, he's been captured and held prisoner for more than a century. During this time, his absence causes a lot of chaos in the world, and once he's out, he sets off on a mission to correct all wrongs caused by that. This mission takes him across different worlds and timelines. What makes it similar to Willow is the character of Rose Walker. While she's not the protagonist of the show, she does play an important role, especially once her fate intertwines with the Sandman's. Her powers as the Vortex are essential to the fate of his mission, bringing us back to the theme of a young, powerful person with huge shoes to fill. And hey, it's only gotten rave reviews since it became an instant favorite on Netflix.
And now it brings that which is mine in hell to me.
And my last pick is the same, if not better, in that respect. Of course, how could I miss out Wednesday?
Finally, you will be among peers who understand you. Maybe you'll even make some friends.
If watching Willow made you miss the good old days, or if you're still in the mood to watch a reboot, then Wednesday is the show for you. There's no doubt that the Addams Family is one of the most iconic and beloved of them all. The franchise has gone on in various ways for years, and nobody has ever gotten tired. And that was proved once Wednesday was out, and everyone and their mother was watching it. If you're somehow still among the very few who didn't, I'd suggest you get to it. It's got all the elements of a great fantasy show. The characters are lovable, the plot's an interesting take on an old classic, it's definitely binge-worthy, plus it'll have you on the edge of your seat. And just like Willow, it's got that simple kind of enchantment only the good old TV shows had. If you enjoyed watching Willow, you should definitely check out all these great shows. We'll see you in our next video.